Now, IPsec is not one single protocol. Instead, it's a very large and complex suite of protocols. There are two data plane protocols that secure the user data IP packets, namely authentication headers and encapsulating security payload. There are also multiple control plane protocols that are responsible for things like authentication, creating and managing security associations, and for negotiating cryptographic parameters. In this webinar, I will only cover one of these control plane protocols, namely the Internet Key Exchange Protocol version 2, or IKEv2 for short. This is the most recent version, and it's also the version that you will need if you want to deploy quantum-safe networks. As I mentioned, there are two data plane protocols, namely authentication headers and encapsulating security payload. Authentication headers only does authentication and integrity protection, but not encryption. Encapsulating security payload also does encryption. Excuse me. And then independently of that, there's also the concept of transport mode versus tunnel mode. Transport mode keeps the original IP packet header, but tunnel mode encapsulates the original packet, the original IP packet, by adding an additional IP header on top of it. Each of the four possible combinations has its own specific use case, but in this webinar, I will only discuss ESP tunnel mode, which is the option in the bottom right here on this slide. This diagram shows the format of a data plane ESP packet in tunnel mode. The security parameter index identifies the security association. The sequence number is used to prevent replay attacks. The original IP packet that is sent through the IPsec tunnel is encrypted and encapsulated into the ESP packet, shown in blue here. And some encryption algorithms also require an initialization vector, which is also shown in blue here. The padding is used for alignment and can optionally also be used for something that's known as traffic flow protection, in other words, for hiding traffic patterns. And finally, the authentication trailer contains an integrity check value, which is used for authentication and integrity checking.